Well, when it comes to writing interesting characters, like you just mentioned, what do you focus on the most and why?
I think I just try and spend some time with the character before writing the story a lot of the time. I did that a lot with Hypochondria. I did that with this story. With cat food, there's three main characters, the three cats. Um, and I spent quite a lot of time trying to work out who they were individually before coming into it. One thing I like to do when I'm writing sometimes, especially with dialogue, I'll sit there and I'll do voices. And normally that sort of helps not only with the flow of the dialogue, but also like, is this actually what that character would say? And I don't know. I have to know who I'm writing before I can write. I can't just go in blind.
Yep, I totally get that. Yeah. I've been doing like D&D character sheets almost, like just little mini ones. Like I have a military sci-fi I'm trying to get into another friend's anthology for their publishing company. And yeah, I was like trying to write and I couldn't. I was like, I need to know who these people are. I know it's only like 7,500 words, but yeah, I go nowhere if I don't know at least who they are and like some sort of motivations. Like obviously something new or change stuff over time, but I need at least like some sort of starter set. So I
I
totally get
tried that.
that.
It doesn't work for me.
Mm.
It's really weird. I always thought that when I started trying to write like professionally, that's what I would like, have these sheets. They just don't work for me. Feel like I need to be inside their head rather than know everything about them, if that makes sense.
No, no, yeah. Do you like kind of write a little bit about them, like even if it's not for the story, like because that's like
I
Brandon Sanderson does. So
I
just
like
kind of do.
make notes.
Got it.
Like, but I always sort of see it as like you're meeting a new friend or a new person, and so they sort of reveal, like, for instance, in my Rings of Adventure story, I know that Sarsen was run out of Stockholm. I know that terrible things happened, and I've alluded to it, but I don't know fully exactly what happened. I don't really, it's like that hasn't come yet because I don't know him well enough yet,
Yeah, yeah.
if that makes sense.
No, no, yeah, it
Don't
totally
really know
does.
how to explain it. When I try and say this to people who aren't writers, they look at me like I'm mad. So maybe I am mad. I talk to the people in my head. Like,
Well, I had somebody the day that like we were discussing. I had an author, and we were discussing that where like a character for me in my epic fantasy like was like, yeah, I'm not in this book, and I'm like, yeah, you are. I just wrote you in 70,000 pages or whatever, 78,000 pages. I was like, this doesn't make sense. I was like, it's a 600-page book or whatever. She's like, no. And then the guy with her was like, in like her scenes, like her counterpart was like, yeah, I'm not in this either. And I was like, you guys are really starting to piss me off. And then after that, I had like two new versions of them came in, like, actually, we're in this book. So I checked with my friends and I was like, they knew what I was like, what sounds better? A or B? Like these new people want in this story. They're like, oh man, they are going to make it so much better. So I had to change it. And anytime I talk to most people about that, they're like, "Oh, your character, like your Monster Hunter, like he wasn't talking to me for a while. And then he was talking to me." And after I watched some media and stuff like Jack Reacher or Tracker, like the TV show, and he'll tell me like, "Oh yeah, I'm like this," or "I had this situation," or something similar. So people look at me all the time that are not writers or authors or creatives, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm sure they want to, make some phone calls or something. But that's like my creative process is like, subconsciously they just like kind of chat with me and figure it out. So I think that makes total sense. And I always tell people this is a journeyman's podcast, as I like to say. So I think go, like you said, that doesn't work for you. I think find exactly what works for you guys and then go with that and then try and find those things. And I think that's what's hard when you're first starting out, right? You're trying everything that everybody says and some things work, some things don't. And over time, maybe you'll find something different. So I think that's actually, Sarah, really, really valuable advice. So that's awesome.
and do voices.
Yeah, I do voices. Actually, somebody I just interviewed on Monday. I interviewed three people on Monday and Friday, so I can't remember who said it, but they said they do that a lot too. They like will read, yeah, in one voice, and they're like, yeah, I'm not very good at different characters. But I think it was MJ Coon. We had our second interview. It's been years, and she was like one of my first ones in season one. So yeah, we just discussed that. She's like, just make sure no one's around. I'm like, that's fair. No audiobook coming soon in her voices, guys, is what she said. But yeah, I totally get that.